our booster at my mom's house has got the has the antenna.
Has an antenna.
Yeah, it's got 2 of them. It's pretty solid. I get damn near full bars signal out there out the garage.
Yeah.
We also have like Comcast's internet too.
Oh, shit, dude.
Bastards.
So I would have after OK Kids new stream.
Yeah,
Are
sorry,
we
War
back?
Dog.
We're back.
We are back. And that wasn't us. That wasn't us. That's the internet cutting out for no apparent reason.
I don't even have stuff in the house going. I don't understand. Where it worked fine last week and didn't. We bring it up there so I can see it.
Bring what up there?
The big picture.
Oh, how do I do that again?
Right click on the page on the picture on the screen. Preview or the
Open preview projector.
yeah, LG. Now go to docs and click on chat. Oh, do it again. Okay, there we go. Yep, but like I said, we're gonna get that fixed for next week.
Yeah.
Now the only difference here, I don't know where so I'm gonna rewind a little bit. This adds to the whole thing that of everything being modular. It's one piece, you know, as far as travel, taking it to conventions, bringing it to, you know, storing it in your house. It's nice to have, you know, both sides. That, you know, I got ice on one side if I need that. I got fire on the other side if I need that. It's the same deal, you know, the 2-inch XPS foam. I think the center piece is the 1-inch, and then these additionals are the 2-inch. That's why I've got the height. This I used the stone, you know, used a big stone and rolled it and cracked it and punched it with the stone to create the texture and the same painting technique. This is the fire itself is airbrush, where I gave it a base coat of dark red and then went through with an airbrush and gave it, you know, you can look up on YouTube or anywhere. It'll get for a lava palette, you know, of the colors. You use I can't remember what orange. It's this bright orange, and then yellow for the center. And you know, I kind of hand painted it out where I wanted the edges to be, and then went over with the airbrush and faded them, you know, into each other. But and believe me, I have minimal experience with an airbrush, and I was able to do this in one night. You know, you just have to you just go at it and do it as best you can. But initially there was a large Diaz here, like a throne for Satan, or what did I call him? I called him.
Yeah, we changed it to something else.
I called him something. It was some basically Satan from anime, whatever name that was. They called him but I called him that because we questioned whether we should have, because I was doing kids games also for kids underage. I didn't want the kids to be like, Mom, we fought Satan.
Or we made a deal with Satan.
Better yet, yeah, because at this point they had an option to make a deal with him and work with him, and yeah, so we didn't want kids to be able to say, yeah, Mom, I played that game at Gen Con and we made a deal with Satan. So, you know, and they had to fight their way across. The lava did a bunch of damage. There was only one bridge, so they had to jump to get from one area to the next. I had these cool ass Cthulhu guys.
Let me bring them up.
Yeah,
Close.
These were I got these out of the Peterson, JP Peterson, the Cthulhu guy. One of his board games. Mike the Tooth, you probably know who that is. I can't remember the name. Satan and the Ear Pigs. Yeah. I had those guys. I think I used.
Didn't we call these guys the ball sack demons or something?
Yeah, they're like ball sack demons because they have big ball sacks on the back of them. And then this guy, who was also a it's also a Cthulhu monster, but they're cool monsters, and you can use minis for anything. They. But yeah, this is another piece that I'm particularly proud of. I had made one out on my I have it on one of my personal pages, where I made a board in the past of this same kind of style, except it was like almost 3 times larger than this. 4 giant squares of a lava, cracked lava landscape that I sold. A gaming store in Ohio bought it, and I loved it. I have some really good pictures of it. We played on it as much as we possibly could before it sold. And
yeah, we did that a few times.
Yeah, which that was one of the great things about making terrain like that. I'd get a big order from a game store or whatever for a big full-size table piece. I'd build it, and then we'd play on it, before I shipped it. We had to test it. You have to test play the stuff. So.
Yeah, my favorite was still the Geonosis board.
Yeah, I made a Geonosis board for a Star Wars game that really came out good. I have some really good pictures of that, and we could.
I helped with that one.
I think, under my profile on teamargonauts.net, I think there's a lot of pictures of all that stuff. I don't have any video of any of that stuff, but I have a ton of pictures of it all. So if you go to www.teamargonaut.net,
hold on,
and go to the what are they called, the operators, or the we have the individual DM profiles. If you go under my profile, there's a good chunk of pictures of a lot of my older stuff that I when I was making terrain for game stores.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Innovators is what we're called.
Innovators?
Yeah. The rogues gallery of game masters, writers, and artists. And we need to, man, I wish I would have said something today during our meeting. We need to make get one of those for our players.
What is it?
A section for our players. The how we got the innovators, all of us on here.
Oh yeah. You have the
Bob, Justin, Charles, Becky,
Yeah.
Mike T, Mike the Tooth, and have a section of players. And
Your photo was terrible, Charlie.
My photo?
It's awesome. It is spectacular.
What,
Don't believe him.
Is it? Which one is it? Is it? Oh yeah, it's the Viking Discord. I know. I look like I look like some homeless guy they pulled in off the street. Put this shirt on.
That is your Match.com profile picture.
It says "Meet me in an alley."
No way, like a white trash leprechaun for drywall instead of shoes.
What?
That's fun. That is great.
Hey, it's all about presentation. You have to make that. You have to make that first impression.
Right.
Okay.
At least you didn't use like any photos from the 4th of July party.
No. No. Now.
And now we go back to, or return to, the cliffs of New Haven.
And I know, I said we'd be ready to paint this week on this, but I lied. Just like my grandkids will tell you, Papa Charlie isn't real reliable when it comes to timing. Try to back this up some here.
Yeah.
That's a family trait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Charlie suffers from what the rest of us call black people time.
No, you're not allowed to say that,
Don't.
Teddy. quit it.
We call it Betsy time.
Yeah, Betsy time, my sister.
Or Brandy time.
Yeah.
Boy, she inherited that one really
Oh
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's brandy time, all right.
But I don't know if you can really tell scale wise on here. But here's your standard, what is it? 3.5 inch or what is it? Your standard size miniature.
28
millimeter miniature
with a 1 inch base.
Now, there he is. So the scale on this is massive.
Oh yeah.
So mainly where I'm at, I messed with this last week after the stream. The rest, I think, for a few more hours after the stream, and I hurt myself. That was weird. After that stream, because we did your claim last week, so it was 2 weeks ago. But I've added some more, and like I said, I'm going to have a ladder, a rope ladder, things connecting this, but I can't add that stuff until after I've got it all painted. So the main thing we need to focus on today is just adding more levels. And I've got a couple pieces that I started, but whether or not I can use them, I don't know. I attached everything. Basically kind of trimmed it up so that it fit together with it, fit together as best I could. Used made sure this fit. I ran those skewers in from the back to kind of hold it in place, but left a gap, and went through and just hot glued the hell out of everything. Hot glued and attached it to this bottom base first, and then attached it to the bottom base first. And then hot glued, ran skewers at an angle, because this is an angle on the back side. Ran skewers at an angle straight through and just hot glued in those cracks all the hell. I've gone through up in here. I haven't done this, covered this yet, but the crack down here, I cut pieces and squished them in there. Once I put some texture, I might use some stuff. I'll show it to you. And I might I'll smooth that out basically with like a spackle or a putty of some type. I'm going to smooth that out to cover that, because there will be more texture on this stuff once I get everything in place.
Excuse us, folks, for the grandchild interruption.
There's no kids allowed. This is important adult stuff.
Right.
Now look at my toys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got everything mounted and solid. Hot glued the hell out of it all. A lot of these gaps down in here, I just took chunks of I put a bunch of hot glue in there and take chunks of styrofoam and stuff it all in there. But I mean it's pretty damn sturdy.
Oh, that's perfect, War Dog. That's perfect too.
He locked it. He saw that I locked it. Foam daddy gaddy. I know.
And War Dog, you are correct. Well, part of the skill of this making terrain for Gen Con, one of the side skills that we picked up is transportation. How to play Jenga with terrain.
Yeah.
And Charlie's become very, very good at making custom boxes.
I build custom boxes too.
on the side.
Yeah,
you got a weird angle, you got a circle, you got something that's lopsided. He can make a box for it.
And this, just when I was actually attaching this, Justin was here and we were discussing. You notice I have that big base that I just took away underneath. That's not attached to that. So this by itself, it's going to be awkward to travel with, but it'll travel. It's not that bad. It's not going to be that bad. It is a bit larger and funny shaped than what I'd like, but I couldn't figure out any other way to make it do it, you know, without just attaching it all as one piece.
Right.
Because I got to attach these things across, and they have to be set in place to do that. Otherwise, I'd be, you know, literally assembling it and gluing it at Gen Con, which I don't want to do.
Right.
You know, but
It's a shame you can't just rent a cargo van.
mm-hmm.
Well, we can, but I guess we don't. We're not in that financial group there.
Yeah, we don't have those financial resources yet.
Yeah.
If anybody lives in Indianapolis and has a van, go ahead and reach out.
Yeah.
But there's still logistics I have to worry about with this. If you notice, when I'm standing at the table behind the terrain, you know, and all the players are out, you know, in front, I fit about like this. so actually manipulating the stuff and all that is, those are still logistics that I'm pretty much gonna have to wait till Gen Con to get figured out.
Oh, that's easy, Charles. Just wear some platform shoes.
Platform shoes. Well, and I was thinking about, I have somewhere like a step stool, you know, like a decent sized step stool that'll put me up a few more feet. But even still, man, reaching.
Yeah, you're gonna need. You know, those. Hey, we can get those little grabber pincher things that maintenance guys use if they go crash an apartment complex.
I could just come in from the side with the a wooden crate and a tin cup.
Hey, you can make the wooden crate the size to carry this in, pull it out of the wooden crate,
stand on it,
stand on the wooden crate.
I can just walk around Gen Con with it.
There you go. There you go.
Honestly, I could probably damn near touch the bottom of that with my height, probably.
I don't know. It's pretty long. Your arms
Check it out.
I'm taller than you are. See? Yeah.
You can get about 2/3 of the way down.
But you got to see what you're grabbing too.
I know.
So yeah. So I'm gonna have to be to the side of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to be to the side of it to do it. And okay. So back to the crafting right now is
Romper stompers.
the romper stompers.
Drywall stilts. That's it. Then you can walk around the convention.
Yeah, I walk around the convention in stilts. Hell yeah.
That's your cosplay costume. You're a piece of terrain.
Yeah.
your background for a terrain.
Honestly, I like drywall stilts. They're so comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I've never.
I've
always been curious to try them, but at this point, I'd fall down and.
Well, it's the way
break my neck.
It's the way they're designed. It's not just you don't have this bar in the middle of your foot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen them before. It's dual action.
Yeah, it's the size is almost the size of your foot, so it's a bit more stable.
Right.
And it's instead of just the one pole, it's you got the 3 at the very top.
Mm-hmm. So you can move.
So you could actually move without.
And I've seen people walk around on them just like they're normally walking, backwards.
They're comfy. I've tried to walk on actual stilts, and boy, that hurt my arches.
House.
I'll be right back.
All right, folks, that's why I'm here. It's for times like this, and something I wanted to talk about this week is the actual game that he is playing, the game that he is making the terrain for. The name of the game system is called Index Card Role-Playing Game, or ICRPG for short, and from here on out, that's what I'll be calling it, ICRPG. But it is it's a stripped down version of the D20 system. It's a simplified version of the D20 system, and it's a great way for kids to learn how to play role playing games on, and because like I said, the rules are real simple. And it's also, but it's variable enough, or it's good enough that experienced gamers can play on it too. As I said, it's simple, but it's still a good time, still a challenge.
It's perfect for homebrewing.
Yeah, and for Charlie, especially, it's perfect for Charlie's style of running. He is a very terrain-oriented runner or game master, and while he spends a great deal of his time on the train for the games that we play, which unfortunately the bad side of that, it leaves a little less time to get thoroughly knowledge on a very complicated but very good but complicated rule system.
It also has one of the best magic systems I have ever seen.
You like the magic system?
Yeah, it
might
not be all that, but it's a decent system. It is a decent, well-rounded game. I said it's simple, it's easy, but yet it still has enough depth to it that it's good.
And there's a lot of confusion over the name of it, and rightfully so. I'm looking for the book.
I always hated
the game itself.
System. It makes no sense for a magic user.
This is the game. Index card RPG. This is the core rule book. Made by Runehammer Games. The game itself was originally designed so that you could run it with index cards. You'd have index cards, and on each index card you'd have like bad guys, locations, and a third like random variable. And you'd basically sit around at the table, you draw the random location, the random bad guy, and the variable. And then the dungeon master on the spot there would create the scenario. Say, okay, you're walking down the street, and the random location would be like a broken down wagon. And dungeon master, so you guys are traveling through the woods and you come across a broken down wagon. The bad guy, you say, oh, well, there's a hobgoblin driving it, and he's got 5 buddies with him, and so that's how it was originally conceived. But then it mutated into just a system altogether that you could run without that. So that part of it didn't stay, but he kept the name, and most people call it ICRPG, and but it's an awesome system for teaching kids. If you haven't noticed, I have a ton of grandkids. I used the system with the younger kids, like kindergarten level, and this is how all of my grandkids learned how to count and how to use basic math. And I think that's one of the good things about role-playing games, with dice system. They learn to recognize the numbers on the dice, and they're excited about it. They get to roll dice to do damage to the monster, and I make them roll the dice, and okay, what number is that? Well, that's an 8, and you have +3 to hit, so you get to add 3 to that, and they'd struggle with it, but they literally learned basic addition and subtraction from bonuses off of this game, and with it, it's and I know it's an old story, but our RPG, imagination mixed with numbers at a young age like that, they learn it, they want to learn it. So it's not just boring, school. It's it's a cool game they're playing, and they want to, So literally, all of my grandkids learn how to learn basic math from this system, and that's part of why I push it so big, because it has a good history in my family at this point, and I have 5 grandkids, that aren't they aren't necessarily gamers, they're your average, no good kids, but every one of them know, when people talk about D&D, when people talk about that, they know how to play, and they've played this enough where they could go learn to play D&D or Call of Cthulhu, any kind of D20 system. They understand the concept.
Right, they have the basic knowledge involved. They wouldn't be learning from scratch.
Right. They understand the concept of it. They understand how it works. So yeah, that's my ICRPG commercial for the day. And the guy who made it has moved on. He's moved on and created, he creates a lot of different systems. Check him out. He's Runehammer Games. He has a lot of different systems that he creates. And he's moved on from ICRPG, but it is still one of his, I think, one of his most popular marketing-wise game that he has.
Is Runehammer one word?
Yeah,
Runehammer Games.
Runehammer Games. Yeah.
.com, .net, anything.
Yep. If this makes it out there, if this makes it to him, thank you Brandish Gilhelm is the guy's name, and I believe that's he writes books also. He's got just an amazing imagination. They called him back in the ICRPG games. He went by his character name, which was Hankerin Furnail, and he was originally on YouTube. He had a YouTube channel called Drunkens and Dragons, and where he'd sit there and drink and go over like their game from the previous week, and kind of recreate the game and talk about the terrain and stuff like that. But he puts out a lot of amazing stuff. So to the terrain here. I don't know if you've noticed. I made this little extension to the steps here. And what I'm wanting is I want to do a thing that comes up off of this, up off the steps, up towards this area. And I'm just kind of doing this for size. I could do that and then add like another, like a step up or whatever here. So I've got my general idea of what I want. So what I'm going to do with this is go through. Is that fan on?
Yes.
You aim it this direction?
Yeah, absolutely.
Justin's got that fan aimed at just him. Let me go through with the rock.
Actually, you want me to... Oh, let me feel it.
No, come back this way a little bit. Right there.
Right there?
Yep. Ah, God, it's so much better. We got a nice quiet fan this time. So I'm just going through and doing the standard. I can't see the chat, but
I can't either.
Sorry.
oh,
I'm an old man and I'm fumbling with technology. Oh my gosh.
Docs chat.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like when you hit docs, it pops back up. Hit it. No, there you go. Viking Death Squad is one of his, right? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And it's weird because Viking Death Squad has, just like everything with him, has a weird origin where Viking Death Squad was a ICRPG one-shot that he created. But then he created another game, a D6 game where all used is D6s, called Viking Death Squad, that expanded that whole universe. The Viking Death Squad that I ran was that original. Well, it was very similar to his original campaign. I changed some stuff of it, but it was very similar to his original, not campaign. It was a one shot, which is set up for like a 4 hour, wham bam, thank you ma'am, it's done thing. Which those, I think those are, I love running one shots where they're good for like random terrain, that you have, you just, enough of a story, to run for one night, that has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and you're done. And which is pretty much exactly what Gen Con is set up for. Those types of just a one shot story, and that's it. Usually you bring, you have pre-generated characters for them to choose from, so they can just come in, pick their character, sit down, listen to the explanation, and run and play the game. I'm going through and cutting the corners off of these so you don't have that 90-degree turn.
Hey, got a question for you real quick.
Yep.
What was that website that we made the exclamation point TG?
That's Stream Elements.
All right.
Justin is in training on the whole streaming and all the different tools and stuff that we use. I know this is loud, but I'm just kind of thumping this stuff. No, nobody's at the door.
All right, so I get there. Where do I go?
On the right hand side, where our name is, click on your name, go to dashboard. On the left hand side is a...
Oh, why did this happen?
You have too many windows open. You got all those windows open. You should only have one window open.
Sometimes I feel like maybe Charlie should be charging the electronics.
No, I gotta learn. He's gotta. I've got to do this.
I know.
My hot glue gun, which I don't have warmed up. So.
Well, at least you won't burn the piss out of yourself.
Not yet.
All right, now next. What next now?
On the left hand side on that list, should chat bot.
All right.
Up the chat commands. That's the one we made. Add new command. If you want to make a new one, you put in what you want to type there. And scroll down. What you wanted to say there. Activate command. There you go.
Alrighty.
The other thing you can do. Oh, look, the chat's going now. I think when you, yep, look, we'll just hit docs and it comes back. When you do it, like here, you can go to this and remove your initial command. That's what I do, so it's not clogging up the chat. You know, with our thousands of chats, you know, we want to
Right.
keep it clean. Oh, I didn't do the end of this. Well, the way I have this here, I can put this here and stand here. Is that better, Teddy? I'll just set this off. So I'm basically just cleaning this up, rounding it out. And if you notice, I'm doing everything in different order every time because that's how I function. And now this is going to be the side that attaches to the board. But I've still got this nasty underside where I keep messing that up. I forget because I mean it looks cool, but you put it up there and you got to think this is going to be up in the air, and the players are going to be looking up, so you don't want them to see that flat, nasty underside.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I thought that was the flat side was the platform that the minis would be on.
Originally, I think it might have been.
Okay.
But but I made it the wrong way. Luckily, we have a smooth flat side here.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is wait for my hot glue gun. But what I'll do is I'll take scraps of this and glue them to the underside of this, and then cut them off to make this a angled, make it angle down into like stalactite, or whatever, to just so that it all matches. So we got that. I can go ahead and start working on my next piece. Big edge here. So this next one, I need the piece a step up. I don't want it that thick. I guess I'll start with that. I'm just gonna cut me cut me a scrap, and just stay focused on what side is going to connect to the board. Because it sucks to put a bunch of work into a piece and then you go to do it and you're like, oh, I had the angle wrong on it. So this is going to attach to the face. So I want this step up here. About how long, move that, hold that out of the way. So what we're going to do, that there, this is going to attach here. So I got to make sure whatever I put underneath here is going to fit in that space that's going to be there. So I got that little step up. This piece is going to be a step up. And that'll probably work. That'll probably work. That length. Because it's going to end up right in here.
Right.
And I'm going to do another piece that comes straight across here and extends out.
It's going to be fun cutting that angle.
It's not bad. I did it on this and it wasn't as hard as I thought it was. I have a, not that I know exactly what it is, but my brain can figure it out. I can do it pretty quick. So, I don't want this, I only want this to be, I want it to be about that same width. So we're cutting this. This is all just a perfect example of a hobby that will take over your life.
It can.
I've been doing this for 5-6 years now, maybe longer, and I've had a hard time. You know,
It's been way longer than 5 years. I've been at my current job for 5 years, and you remember when
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be close to 8 or 9 or 10.
Yeah. But I get into this stuff, you start doing it for fun, and then you guys were the ones, because I started making terrain, and everybody, it started stacking up. You know, I'd build stuff, we'd use it a couple times, it'd stack up. I'd build something, it'd use it, it'd stack up, and I ended up with like these mountains of terrain. And my guys were like, why don't you sell this stuff? You could like sell it on Etsy. Somebody said that at some point. And I was like, what the hell? Yeah, okay. And I looked into it, and I opened an Etsy store, sold most of my stock pretty quick, and then started making stuff. Ow! The hot glue gun is hot.
Your trap works, Charlie. Good job.
Ow! I forgot it was there.
Yeah, it'll get you. And I damaged myself bad last week.
Yeah, he had some pretty serious blisters.
I mean, I had massive blisters on my hands. I cut the shit out of myself. I think that was on Sunday. I came out here on after we were done Sunday. I'm working on it, man. And I cut that. I mean, like, I probably should have went and got stitches.
That's fine now.
It's good now, though.
I think the
Scars are cool.
I think really the scariest I've ever been around with a knife with you is when I watched that blade just pop off and just pass right in front of my eyes. Just ping.
You know, these breakaway blades. And these, I don't know if you can see the little lines on them. You know, where you break them off. But I don't know how you're supposed to break them off. I mean, but I know if you just take it and push it against the face, everybody in the room gets scared because you just snap it against the ground, but that blade will go bing and shoot up.
Oh yeah, I just fired.
I've had it stick into the ceiling. I've had it land on terrain, like point down like that, and everybody around the table gets mad at me. That's one of the games we play. One of the games I play.
Yeah, we're not players in that game. We're victims.
I don't know. I don't know how you're
to at
supposed
least give a warning.
Yeah. Hot glue gun is hot.
Yes, it is.
Man, Mike.
I'm gonna have a blister form.
You'll probably
right
get
there.
out of blister, yeah.
Mike the Tooth. It would be awesome. You know, we were talking earlier about you coming down. You know, coming down and hanging out or whatever. It'd be awesome if when you came down, you hung around till Sunday. So you could be here on the stream with us.
Yeah, we want guest stars.
Your celebrity charge is probably much cheaper than Teddy's. Teddy costs us too much. What's it called? There's a name for that where you pay celebrities for appearances.
Oh, is it an endorsement fee? Or
Yeah,
something like that?
Teddy's enforcement fee is just a case of PBR. That's all he
The
needs.
pork chop of beer, folks.
The pork chop of beer. No, that's Lowenbrow. Or no.
No, that's just
That's
nasty.
no, Lowenbrow's the meatloaf of beer. That's what I heard somebody say that.
It's America's beer.
America's beer.
The pork chop of beer. The best they ever brewed.
Yeah. So, there we go. It's not quite as beat up as I want it.
Now, Tooth is claiming that there's a break-off tool on the back of the razor blade that's just supposed to come off easily. That's not the back.
I think he's talking about this thing. I always wondered what that thing was. I don't even know if I can get it to come out. I think I know what you're talking about. This thing slides off. I don't ever use it, so I think it's probably crudded up in there and won't come out. Yeah, details. I've done it with wrenches. You know, you grab like a wrench or, you know, a pair of pliers and grab it and snap it. I'm just adding a little more detail to this. Now this is the piece. I'm going to hold off on doing that other because I don't want to put anything under here until well, I guess I can do that. I guess I can do it. It doesn't matter.
And thank you, Tooth, for that wisdom you've bestowed upon us about the
Break off tool.
the non-Russian razor blade version of breaking off the tool of the razor blade.
I don't know. I kind of like playing, you know, Russian, you know, Russian broken blade.
Okay, I'm just trying to decide how I'm going to do this. I don't have much of there's not much of a flat edge here.
As I was saying earlier, ICRPG is a good, easy system. One of the things I can explain real quick, the basicness of it is instead of when you're rolling to hit or when you're rolling to make a skill roll or whatever, one of the way ICRPG has simpled it down is you just have a room target. Wherever the area you're in, let's say the room target is 15. That's the number you have to beat to either hit an opponent, unlock a lock,
Jump over a pit.
Yeah, jump over a pit. You know, it's all the same. And the higher the number is because of, you know, it's higher the stress of the situation. Jumping over a pit when, you know, on a nice quiet day is one thing. Jumping over a pit when you've got 200 goblins about to overwhelm you is another. That makes it harder. Or when a giant monster is fighting you and you want to get out of there. That's when the number would be harder.
And then you have your modifiers, where say, you know, you're running that, and you're running at a room target of you know, at the beginning of a game, you know, where you're running at a room target of like 12. But then you have the big bad guy come into the room. You can make they have a modifier system of hard or easy. If something is hard to do, it adds +3 to the modifier. If something is easy to do, it's -3 to the room target. I'm sorry. It's +3 to the room target or -3 to the room target. So when the bad guy comes in, it's hard to hit the bad guy, so you have to roll a 15 to hit him instead of a 12 to hit his lackeys. But if you stay with those, it uses pretty much, you just stay with those +3 or -3 to modify stuff. And that's the simplified version of it. It's why it's easier for kids to grasp, because it's always that same number. You can have a room that's 12, and they're fighting, and then all of a sudden the doors lock and the room starts filling with gas, and the room target increases to 15. It makes everything hard to do in the room, so you can adjust the room target due to the environment or stress in the room or whatever. It's just real easy to just play on the fly.
And I just checked out that link, War Dog. That was and it gave our chat in a large window. Thank you for that.
What was it?
What he this. And how can we use that to our advantage? How does that help us?
Oh, he's just saying, probably so you can have it there.
Oh, okay. Just like a quick reference thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we have the chat. We have a television, a big screen TV right here. We have the stream and the chat on the side on that, War Dog.
Charlie is just standing directly in front of it.
Mm-hmm. I'm just kind of chopping this down to the size I want. Hopefully we don't get a hospital visit here on the live stream. Ugh.
War Dogs, what's safety?
Safety first.
Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't know what the hell just happened.
That was all War Dog's fault. He's straight
I know,
GG.
man. Jesus. You get YouTube strikes for safety violation. We'll be like, these guys.
Folks, please don't call OSHA on us.
No eyeballs were a sacrifice for this channel.
Good Lord. Look at that. I got another one in the chamber. I'm good. I don't own a gun. I do not own a gun. In case anybody's that worried. So much for our shooting channel we were gonna do.
I completely blame War Dog for jinxing you. As soon as he says safety first, plate explosion.
That was crazy.
I mean, do standard glasses count as safety glasses?
I know as far as OSHA does. I mean,
No. As far as OSHA thinks, no. Normal glasses do not count as safety glasses at all.
That's weird.
I had that lesson leave video at work. We have it's called lesson leave, but safety things that we got to do, and there's like 100 of them. They give them all to us at the beginning of the year, and we got a year to watch the little video, take the little test, and yeah. Say PPE is one of them, personal protection equipment.
But I thought, what are the shatterproof glasses, which most glasses are made of, are acceptable? That's what I've been told from DOT.
Mm-mm.
Huh.
Nor is wearing safety glasses over regular safety glasses acceptable.
Over.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't put safety glasses on over them either.
Or how the hell is that supposed to work? If you wear glasses, you have to get prescription safety glasses.
You have to get glasses that are rated as safety glasses for.
And so technically, your company would have to pay for that.
Probably.
Unless they can figure out a way to push it off onto you.
Right.
Oh, they're gonna try.
He's literally challenged the gods on that one.
First of all, I don't even wear my PPE for work.
Okay, so I attach that. I just kind of cut that wad on there and attached it to the underside of this. Now I'm just going to hack it in to make it match, make it all match. And I'm gonna bevel it backwards towards the wall. And I know this is slow going. It's probably not the most exciting stuff to watch for a stream, but
Are you bleeding?
no. And, but that's why we have the other people here. You know? Maybe a little. Maybe a little.
Enough to where I'm worried that there might be some red hot glue.
And I know it's kind of gross, but I always joked about, you know, that you have to leave a little bit of Never mind. I'm not even gonna say it. If you don't bleed on your terrain, you're not trying hard enough. That's always leave a little DNA
A little
on
part of yourself on the.
Yeah, you gotta put a little part of yourself in there.
Oh, I think there's a little bit of DNA in every job I've ever worked at.
Yeah, giving blood, sweat, and tears. That's it.
Yeah.
I actually laughed so hard I was crying a second ago.
Oh, do they? Somebody glue Charlie back together. YouTube does have a problem with blood. You're right.
Where's the electrical tape and some napkins?
I'll just use some hot glue.
The forming blister will swell up enough for the wound to close.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got this. There's something I'm gonna do there. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Here, I gotta cut this little lip off here. There we go. That's gonna attach like here. There we go. So, let me get a piece. It only bled for a minute.
Enough to mark the terrain.
Yeah. Sacrifice to the terrain gods. So we're gonna bring this up. Grab that.
And here I thought Charlie was gonna be the first one to get hurt. Nope, it was me.
So get this. Oh, I'm over here. Yeah, I'm on this side. There we go. You see this? We're gonna glue this into place. Oh. Stringy hot glue. Never hurt nobody. Except for Teddy.
No, I touched the actual alcohol.
There.
I was testing it, and it was in fact hot.
It was hot. This piece is going to go here. Actually, I'm probably gonna have to turn it because I want to look straight onto it and make sure I get it lined up. It's kind of awkward doing it from the side like this so you guys can see. So let me see here.
Oh, it's still visible. You're still good.
Is that level?
Oh, it's not level. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, you mean the bottom?
Yeah. There.
Close enough.
I think that end can come up just a hair.
This here. Oh yeah.
Looks good.
I'm just making sure the angle. Because sometimes that angle will slide off or whatever, but that angle's pretty good.
Yeah, the angle's perfect.
Yeah. That. And I'm thinking when I get into my woodwork, doing the ladders and stuff like that, I've got something I'm going to do with this. That'll be a surprise. So, we go here. My piece of marked terrain. A little bit of love for everybody in every piece of terrain. This is the one I want to make sure I get right here. Okay. There we go.
Now, are you gonna be able to make that seam in the middle of that disappear?
This?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a. Yeah, once everything hardens. I don't know if you guys can see that, but let's see. Right there where they connect, there's that. You see that right angle? So I was talking about those angles. Any kind of flat surface creates an angle, you know, and you know, and whether or not is it really that obvious? Is it that big of a deal? Yeah, it is. So I'm gonna fix it. And basically, once everything's dry, I'll just squirt some hot glue in there, and I'll take a random chunk of this, kind of texture the piece a little bit, and stuff it in there, and it'll just look like a boulder wedged in there, and it'll cover that angle. So. Now my next piece, I want to come straight across this. You know, it's basically going to be a platform here. So let me get a. Man, this thing's so big. And normally it wouldn't be an issue making it, but setting it up so that you guys can see what the hell's going on and all that. So, I'm trying to remember. How I did this. So this is going to be. What we're going to do. Using a straight edge to make sure everything is, because this what I'm cutting is the piece that's going to push against the wall, so you got to make sure it's, and it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but you want it level, you know. So, and I'm just eyeballing these angles. Put it up there and kind of look at where it is. I'm sure there's math formulas and all that you could use to do this, but that's not really my thing. I said, put it up there.
You've always been more of a
eyeball it.
Eyeball it and measure none.
Yeah. So, do this. I need another angle off, a little bit more off of this. Now, it doesn't have to fit in there perfect. I just need a good contact on this side and this side. Whatever fits in there, they can have a little gap or whatever, because I'm going to be able to put boulders and rocks and whatnot in these creases to cover those gaps. There. Where's my?
Our picture is covering.
You can move it if you click on your picture. Actually, here, look. Go here. Remember we put the main cam group. Click on that. Highlight that. Now move it. Oh, that's main cam. No, just small cam group. There it is. Small cam group right here.
Very top. There you go.
Now move it. You move it. There you go. That because it's in the group, it's moving the camera and the border and all that. Remember?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Where is my thing? Now this is one of those tricks. I don't know if you guys, you kind of have to be up close here to see what I'm doing. But to get this angle, basically, what I'll do, I'm going to put this here where I want it. I'm going to put this against the wall. Pencil, give me a pencil. And that's basically going to give me the angle to cut. I'm pretty sure that's what worked last time. No, I'm not doing that. So I'm just going to eyeball here and draw a line. I'm going to draw a line perpendicular to the wall on the styrofoam, and you do it in small pieces because you can always cut more away, but you can't add. Will you hand me that knife? I'm sorry if I'm covering Teddy.
Taking away from my camp, from my fans.
See, I need to shave one end of it a little bit. Shave that a little bit more. And you basically just keep holding it up there and eyeball it. And if I had a not a compass,
I think you might want to shave up a little, maybe do an angle, shave the angle a little bit.
want back in here.
Yeah, and that might fit a little bit better.
No,
No?
I need to shave more off of this. I'm sorry. I'm just no.
No, that's fine. To answer your question, Tooth, it is it's another version of old men fumbling with technology, but that's a tagline that I created. That if I punch in !TG, it says the check us out at teamargonaut.net pops up. If I put in TG2, the don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe for more streams. Thanks for watching and enjoy the show.
Yeah, they're basically just pre-programmed posts that you can put into the OBS program that we use.
And I'm just trying to figure out on the fly if I can eliminate the TG. Yeah, remove. Okay, so yeah, I can remove part of the message. Got it.
Huh.
Are you learning shit that I don't know?
No, no. I think you said that a minute ago. And yeah, giving credit where credit is due. Yep. We totally stole that from you.
What?
War Dog doing that.
What? Removing the?
I don't know about removing, putting the tagline in. Maybe I'm not.
What did he say? He stole that from me. Oh, the don't forget. He was doing the don't forget the thumbs up. He was saying that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I totally. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. I totally copied and pasted that onto a tagline. Thank you very much.
Oh, you stole it from him.
Yeah, I did steal it from him.
Great. Now we got royalties checks to pay. Okay, so I've got that about. I mean, it's close enough. So I want to decide. Oh yeah, I needed my outside angle across the front here. There we go.
There's another way to do that, Charlie, to get that angle. Is the angle the same at the top as it is at the bottom?
This?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much, yeah. I mean, here
Oh,
and here.
you got some in there.
Oh, you mean do
If-
it up here?
Yeah, or another thing. Get a piece, set it directly up here, and then just take a pencil along the back side. We'll get that.
Give you that same.
We'll give you the same.
Oh, yeah.
The same angle. It may not be completely exact, but it'll be close enough to where you just gotta make small adjustments to it.
Three hours later.
Yeah, I know. It takes some time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. I'm working on a masterpiece here. Not really. Like every time I do this kind of stuff, I'm like, man, I can make another one and it'd be so much cooler. You know, if I did this and this and this instead, you know, stuff like that. I do
And
that.
then he does that.
Yeah,
and then he
sometimes
makes
I'll do
another
it.
one doing the trying to make that one even better.
Oh, that's how that round fireboard was. I made one, but and actually I think the first one was just much bigger. But yeah, a lot of these projects I've done before, like this one especially. I did one before, and it was definitely one of those things. I was like, oh man, now if I were to do it again, I could do this, and this.
Is there any other drinks in there besides my PBR?
Yeah, I got root beers in there.
I need something. I need wet my lips.
Hang on a minute, I'll grab something. You have to go through a nightmare of cords to get back to the refrigerator.
Yeah, I'll trip and fall.
How many people we got there?
3.
Thank you guys for hanging around. We appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you very, very much. And please hit the like and subscribe buttons.
Dang interwebs.
We need to figure out more places to advertise the stream, or to, you know, where we don't really have Discords or anything. We use tags on YouTube. I know there's a good sized audience out there on YouTube who watches this kind of stuff. It's just a matter of breaking through that algorithm so that YouTube will start pushing it to those people. So we're doing experimenting different with tags and stuff like that to see what grabs. So if you're just coming through and lurking and you've never been here before, let me know how you found us. How you know, where did we pop up on your suggested? Did somebody send it to you? Just interested to know how that works. There we go. I think I'm going to cut this inward and make it look.
God damn it.
Come on. Did you get yourself again?
Yes.
Teddy keeps hurting himself on the hot glue gun.
It's time to touch my tattoo. Which oddly didn't hurt me, because that area is a little desensitized.
Now we do actually have a Discord channel. We just haven't made it public yet. That's one of the things on my to-do list is to go through the channel, make it public, but make certain things on it private.
Right. Just trying to figure out what, because it has a lot of our, you know, like private, our DM group meeting rooms and different information for Gen Con, where everybody's, you know, posting their, you know, to sign up their stuff, and there's a lot of private stuff in there, and he's got to make sure to go through and get everything kind of locked down so that it can be open to just the public. I'd recommend Justin, I mean, I know you're in a couple of those other Discord groups. Find some other gaming Discords like this and see how they do it. See what they've got, you know, the different subjects that they have
Okay,
open
yeah.
in the public. And Like you have stuff for people to post their own terrain, places
Ooh,
for them
yeah,
to
there you
talk
go.
about their own campaigns,
Right.
It's all about, at that point, it's about community building so that people come and hang out and use your Discord. Shane Nash, if he's still in here, Shane Nash has run massive Discord communities, like with thousands of people. He used to play the zombies games, and he had communities where they'd go through and do the Easter eggs and stuff on the zombies stuff. But he ran a couple different like international Discords, for these massive groups. He could probably give us some pointers.
Yeah, they were coincidentally enough just talking about him. He hasn't posted anything in a minute. They don't think they're there. He's there, and we're down to 3.
But that's not always right, though.
Oh, it's not always right.
No, it'll fluctuate. It's like last night when I was streaming, or Friday night when I was streaming, it'd say 3, and then it jumped to 8, and then jump back down to 3, and then jump to 8. It was doing weird stuff.
Right.
So it's not 100%. Okay, so there's that. Now, pathwise on this, I was thinking about putting one, just for example here, putting something up here with a cave.
Now, is there going to be something in between those two?
Here?
Yeah.
No.
Or is there going to be a bridge or
This
something?
was going to be a ladder.
Oh, okay.
A ladder here, where this is going to be separate from that. But I'm liking the idea of like a platform with a cave with no access to it. So it's basically telling them we have to go in one of these other caves to get here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So this path right here that you just built, what's it lead to?
Here.
Right.
I mean,
Goes nowhere.
I will have a rope or a ladder coming up here to the next platform.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I'm trying to. I want to, and that's another good thing about not adding the ropes and the things until after everything's put together, because I want to try to give them like multiple route options. Where we'll have one going up here, but then over here they might be able to jump up to this one, and get over to here. You know what I mean? Give it so that they have multiple directions that they can go. It's not all just one path.
Right. Yeah. Like you said before, the donkey. You don't want Donkey Kong.
Yeah, you don't want Donkey Kong. And it's hard not to do it. It's really hard not to make it just like Donkey Kong. But I was even thinking, I started to say earlier, I was thinking about, I'm going to have a ritual site here where the cult that lives in these cliffs has been here and festered for way too long, and now they're to the point where they've built an altar outside of the cliffs, and they've been doing some crazy ritual for the last couple days, and it's maybe causing earthquakes or whatever, and the heroes have to go and figure out what's going on. When the heroes arrive, there's like a big ritual here with a summoning circle and tentacles coming up out of the summoning circle.
Right.
It might be too much, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking about having the maybe not necessarily him, the big bad guy here, tossing bodies into the summoning circle, feeding it souls, tossing people. We could have, there we go. We've got the village has been had a rash of kidnappings and disappearances, and the heroes show up. This guy's throwing the villagers that they've captured over the last week or two, feeding it to the monster.
That's not a bad idea.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter for your page. Post everything there. Use hashtags. Follow other similar pages. It's hard work, but it will get you in front of other eyeballs.
Yeah, Brooke and War Dog, good suggestions. We actually do have a Facebook page and an Instagram account. I just haven't been posting anything on it yet.
It's just the work of taking, making clips, making, it's
right.
It's
I've got to find time for that, along with making stuff for Gen Con, along with balancing family and work.
And it's wild because we do this, we've done this every year. We've done this every year for the last 4 or 5 years now with Gen Con. This is the first time we've streamed it and everything, but it's always just like, okay, after Gen Con we're going to do this and this, we need to do this and this, but then by the time when Gen Con finishes, you're so wiped out
from Gen Con
that you don't want to think about it for months, so it's
right.
hard to keep it. Gen Con takes a lot of energy. We put a lot of energy into it, and it has gotten somewhat easier this year. We've been the most lax on it we've been so far, and we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes. But hopefully, with our knowledge and experience, we can, it'll ride through good. But yeah, like I said, ration. The colt's been here too long. It's getting more active. There are now people starting to disappear from the village, and now they've started. The colt has actually built an altar out in front of the cliffs and have been doing a ritual for the last couple days. And they're like, "Yeah, we waited too long. We should have probably sent you guys in here a long time ago, but we need you to go stop them." They show up. The bad guy is throwing the captured villagers, feeding it to the summoning portal. Maybe not tentacles yet. They show up, they're going to kill the people doing the ritual, but it's too late. The ritual's still going. This guy's still throwing them in there. They have to fight their way to the top to get him. And it could be it could be as simple as they stop the ritual. The bad guy runs back into his cave. all the lackeys and stuff that have survived retreat to the cliffside to their defensive positions, and now they have to go in and they've stopped the ritual, but now they have to go in and actually root out the infestation of the cultists. And I could even do a thing where when they start getting to the top, when they start making it up close to the top, he comes back out and starts throwing his own people into it, and the tentacles spawn, and they have to destroy him and figure out how to stop the whatever from coming from the portal. So there's some ideas. There's some ideas on how that's going to work.
It's becoming a bit of a oven in here.
Is it getting hot? Got a fan. Teddy's a big boy. He sweats.
That's a lot.
I didn't put deodorant on.
Oh, that's what that smell
I'm
is.
going to be regretting it here soon. So.
It does smell a little oniony in here.
Oniony. I'm thinking.
I better shut up.
Here you do a. There we go. I do a large platform here. There's like a ladder that comes up alongside that. That's a good defensive position there. They can drop shit on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that'll work.
Are there going to be barrels full of ice?
Full of ice?
Full of ice.
No.
To explode.
Yeah.
Rolling exploding barrels.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with I want a more variable version of the undersides of these clips, other than just having them tilted back. But it's kind of hard. I mean, you can cut them in there and make them different with different levels or different, you know what I mean? Different kind of designs on how it's broken away or, eroded away.
Wargaming needs approval to share your links.
I think he means share his links.
Oh, his links.
But yeah, as far as go ahead, War Dog. We're not.
We approve.
Yeah, we
No, I
approve.
think you have to give him permission.
How do I do that?
He said,
Yeah, go ahead. You're fine. How do I do that? How do I do that?
And click on his name
All right.
and the three dots.
Oh, and the three dots.
Oh, no. I messed it up.
All right, go on the three dots.
Click on. Channel like J, pin message remove. You scroll down. Remove, hide view. He's standard moderator. Maybe, is that a moderator level? Remove his standard moderator. Click that. Now click on his name again.
Click on his name.
Yeah, or click on the three dots. Add as moderator. You gotta make it bigger. Remember, stretch it over to the left here. There you go. Yeah, managing moderator. Click. Save.
Ow.
I'm trying to be
Oh, no, he said, no, I can't. He just wanted to make sure it was okay.
right on. I do, but that's not one.
Oh, there's Shane.
Oh, okay. So he did just want your. You gonna put it on? No. Shane. Hey, Shane. Thanks for coming through.
The link I shared.
Just clickable, guys. You broke it.
You guys broke
Oh.
it.
Oh, what I did to break it? It was purely an accident.
Do it again, War
Yeah,
Dog.
maybe I tried to click it. Sorry. That was definitely unintentional. That was an old man fumbling with technology for sure.
War Dog and Shane are my tech support.
Yeah.
There we go. Instagram.com. What's that a link to, War Dog?
If I click it, what's going to happen?
You gonna break it?
It'd probably open a browser.
Oh.
Right click and open a new window. No, you didn't get the link. Justin is the old man fumbling with technology in this whole thing.
Yes, I am. All right.
Did it work?
Do what to
The
it?
link on that channel gives you links to everything else.
All right.
Okay.
Now, actually, we do have that on our web page. A link to everything else. A link to our Instagram. A link to our Facebook.
And we can do that in OBS where you can put them on the screen. All your different social medias.
Right.
I don't know if you can turn them into hot links. You guys are freaking hilarious. I'm sorry, War Dog.
I might actually join the 70s TV detective.
Do what?
I might actually do the 70s TV detective just because I like Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah. Did he say something about that?
That's the YouTube link.
Oh, okay, yeah. Where War Dog he does a watch party every week. He's been doing it for years, since COVID.
Right.
Where he does like a live watch party of 1970s detective TV series.
Okay, we talked a little bit about that last week, like Columbo and Kojak. And
But he sets them up like an actual thing where he has like the 1970s commercials at the commercial breaks and everything.
Wow.
He sets it all up. And he does.
I bet that's awesome.
He has a massive Facebook group
That's-
with like thousands of people in it.
That's
But
before my time. But there's a few 70s cop shows that I loved watching.
like which ones?
Starsky and Hutch and Chips were my two favorites.
Chips. Yeah,
I don't know.
that.
Was Chips 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it may have been early 80s, I suppose.
No.
War Dog was
lasted
Chips
in-
the 1970s.
It started, I think it was like, I think Chips started like 76, 77. It
Yeah.
went into and it lasted a couple years, and they came out with a movie, I think in the late 80s.
They had a movie.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was like long after the show ended.
Oh no, it was kind of a spoof, sort of a spoof movie. What was it, Ben Stiller and?
No, they did. That was
much later.
Okay.
That was much later. No.
Oh,
They
was
did
it
like the
original
original
Starsky and
one,
Hutch?
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. John Baker was now captain. Couturier was the no, he wasn't the captain. He was like he was now the sergeant. Couturier retired. It was just it was pretty good. I liked it. It was like a reunion movie.
Right.
Did he say it was Chips 1970s?
No, it was a cop show though, just not a detective show. Chips 99, yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, that was the movie?
Yeah, I think it was a made for TV one.
I don't know if you can see what I did there. I had a couple little stalactite things cut out. Put those on that underside. So there we go. We got another level. And I'm going to have a ladder that comes up. I don't know if you can see, but this is chopped out right in here. Can you see that?
Sort of. Yeah, there. The more the angle you go, the better you can see
Yeah.
it. There, you can see it right there.
So there's a little opening there between the chunk of rock and the thing. I'm going to have a ladder made out of skewers that goes up and comes up here. It may actually be, I'm not sure what direction it'll be facing, but there'll be a ladder here to get to this next level. It looks a little crooked and wonky, but it's not supposed to be perfect.
What looks crooked and wonky?
It's leaning outward like that, but I mean
Oh.
it's gonna hold minis no problem. It just gives it that uneven look. But I'm pretty sure I want a cave entrance here. So for the cave, I'm going to lay this on its side. Ugh. And this is going to be a low, at least for now. It's not going to be like a full size like cave entrance. This is going to be a low crack that goes into it, that's going to be like a nest. Because on this, we're going to have the goat spiders.
Oh yeah.
And this is going to be like the nest for them. And these are basically the creatures that the cult has raised and farmed and whatever made to help as their sentries or like protectors of the cliffside. So once the characters start moving.
No, I think he was the actual detective.
Oh, Barney Miller.
Yeah, I think they were a detective squad.
Yeah, because none of them were ever in uniform, if I remember.
Yeah, they were all
I
plain
barely
clothes.
remember it. Remember Barney Miller. I remember Fish.
I remember
Fish from Barney Miller.
Fish, yeah.
Yeah, I think they were all detectives. I liked it.
Oh shit. Oh, I gotta get it.
Got
We
shoot,
were-
I
we
only
were-
had 4.
We were
so-
just served.
Huh?
hot dogs.
From wonderful hot dogs.
With cheese.
With cheese. You want these, Teddy?
Everybody tells me it's considered rude to eat on stream, and I do it all the time. So, I'm sorry, I'm hungry. If you're hungry, go make your own damn hot dogs.
Shane asked, what's the theme of this terrain that we're building?
The theme?
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by theme. I mean, it is a...
It's going to be a stone cliffside with vines and ladders and things like that. The theme is cultists have occupied this place for a long time, and you're being sent in.
These are the cliffside out... it comes from my world, my ICRPG world, the world of Alfheim, that my characters have been playing in for a long time. Brooke says she's eating right now. Go right ahead. Thank you, Brooke. But they there's a town called New Haven, and the town sits on a cliffside on the ocean, and so there's a massive cliff. You know, like the town's up here. There's the cliff. And then the ocean. This massive cliffside, there's no real access to it. And a cult of Ogdaru, the cult of Ogdaru, took up in those cliffs and got into some caves, dug out their stuff, and created their whole little like a cult community that live inside this cliff. And as the cult got bigger and more powerful, they started screwing with the town. And there were some in my game there were access to that cave system from the town. I've been told over in New Haven. And, there was access to the cave system in the town, in places like secret tunnels, in like people who lived in the town who become part of the cult, and they had tunnel systems in their basement that got connected to the stuff.
So I guess seaside cliff would be the theme for this.
Yeah, it's like a seaside cliff.
Although there's gonna be vines in it, right?
Yes.
Seaside cliff with vines.
Okay, and I'll when I go to paint, I'll touch these caves up. But the cult lives in the cliff, and they've gotten more and more and more powerful. Now they're powerful to the point that they're kidnapping the townsfolk. Townsfolk keep going missing, and so the town hires a group of heroes to come clear out the cliff. I have this other. It's buried. I have another board, a larger board that this sits on top of that comes out to about here. That's going to be water. And they're going to approach it on a boat. When they get here, there's going to be a large ritual going on here with a portal that they've started to open. A big bad guy throwing the kidnapped townsfolk, feeding them into the portal, and they're summoning something. The heroes are going to stop that summoning and have to fight their way up through the cliffs to kind of root out the infestation and get to the big bad guy cult leader. And I'm hoping, I've already got the final scene is going to be them throwing the cult leader off into the thing that has been closed, so it's just a stone floor, and that's where he dies. And then his blood might open the portal again, and that's where we leave it, or something like that. But that's pretty much what's happening with all of this, Shane. So we got this route to a cave. I need.
The real question is, are these screaming goat spiders?
I mean, they should be. I mean, if I was a goat spider, I'd scream. Hang on a second, I'll put some ketchup on this hot dog so I can smash it real fast.
So going back to ICRPG, just trying to upsell it or sell it a little bit, or make you guys familiar with it. Like I said, there's the room target is the number that people are rolling against to either hit their foes, open the lock, jump over the chasm, you know, whatever. And the character sheets themselves are very, very simple as well. The stats are, if I remember right, Charlie, it's strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, right?
Yep.
And there's no actual numbers that go into these slots. It's either bonuses or penalties. If you got a high dex, and you'll give yourself, you know, when you're making your character, you'll give yourself a bonus of 2 or 3 in your dex. And that's, you know, and that's what the
And
number.
they're all base 10.
Do what?
They're all base 10.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, if you want to put numbers to the stats, they're all base 10. And then anything that you add to those will either be bonuses or penalties.
I just don't see how like anybody can complain about the magic system. I like the spell burn system.
Yeah, it's good.
I like the ability to, you know, cast as many, you know, spells as you have, and not have to deal with the whole, well, you can only cast this so many times a day.
Yeah,
the what he's talking about, the spell burn system is instead of limiting to, you know, you got so many sleep spells a day or so many fireballs, you can cast them back to back.
Do you want one?
But you will eventually have to make a what's called a spell burn roll. I think after you've successfully cast, what is it, 4 or 5 spells in a row, then the next time you try to cast a spell, you got to make a spell burn roll. And if you make the roll, you can continue casting. But if you fail the roll, bad things happen. Like, I think the most common thing is you can't cast that spell again for the rest of the encounter, or, you know, or something like you can't cast any spells for 1d6 rounds, or, you know, something like that. If you
I
fail
think there's a table, and I think also on there is you cast a spell, but it hits one of your teammates instead of the bad guy,
Right.
or it hurts you instead of the bad guy.
Right.
Yeah, the spell burn system. So it's kind of got a safe measure in there, just so you can't just stand there and cast fireball the whole time. You know, it gives you, if you're casting the same spell over and over again, you're gonna get that. You know, you're gonna fail that spell burn eventually, and something bad will happen to you. Which can be very interesting, because like with healers, if that healer loses his big heal spell for the rest of the day, you know, you're in trouble.
And there is a point.
We've had that happen.
Yeah.
There is a point though. It's like if you roll bad on the worst on the fumble table, then you lose the spell entirely.
No.
You forget it.
No, I don't think it does that.
I think you have to roll like a 1.
Yeah.
Like a 1 on
Maybe.
I think it's really difficult to hit it, but it's a possibility. It's like you just forget the spell entirely.
And that's the thing. The game is set up to where you can do that if you want. You know, everything in it is, because it's so simple, it's real easy to homebrew and come up with your own punishments, or your own, oh, well, you know, this is something kind of weird that we do, you know, and we'll just say this is how it works. And the number system is so simple, it's not hard to do that.
Which is why I like it so much.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I want...
What do you want?
something here, like this. Maybe a long piece. It's not long, is it?
I can't even say what I want.
Shut up, Daddy. Cut this here. And it's kind of out of the ordinary for me, but I did actually this past week at work, sat down and kind of sketched and tried to come up with a plan for these levels. And I mean, you can do it, but it's so hard when you're working on scale like this. I mean, it's hard to understand what your scale is. Well, you just pull out a piece of paper and kind of sketch it and say, oh, okay, well, how big was this? How much can I fit between here and there? And stuff. I racked my brain on scale on it, and I came up with the designs, but they didn't fit. They weren't right. They were either way too small, or they didn't space out the way I thought they would. And it's just, and maybe, I'm sure there is, like I said, there are much smarter people than me out there, but it's just not the way my brain works. I don't, I kind of got to do it all on, on the fly, using my feels, and that's about it.
You use feeling. Don't be like most people. Just use feeling.
Use that feeling.
It doesn't sound right when you say it.
Built my own magic system 3 years ago, and it's a blast. Magic users don't live long usually. That's the best kind of magic system. Where they don't. And yeah, for the ICRPG, the magic system was, it definitely was the most underdeveloped magic system, or the most underdeveloped part of the game, where he just kind of left it. And Justin and I went and saw him speak at Gen Con a few years ago, and I specifically asked him about the magic system. And you remember what he said?
I think pretty much make it up yourself.
Yeah, he said there's so many different people do it so many different ways and blah blah blah. And he said it's pretty much, I gave you a basic little framework, and you and your table need to figure out how you want it to work, because there's so many different ways you can do it. And he did come out with a magic system as a separate book for it later, but I didn't care for it.
Yeah, I didn't really
it was real
like it that much
convoluted.
either. Yep,
and,
I agree.
But all magic systems are, to some point.
Yeah.
That's why I like it, just leaving it just basic. And it's hard, as a DM, because when they have a real basic magic system like that, as a DM, you want to be stingy with your magic, because if you get, once they have a big healing spell or a big fireball spell, it does get spammed. Doing those spell burns, when those spell burns come up as a dungeon master, you're like, yeah, get them, boy, get them, because otherwise, they're just fireballing everywhere and stuff like that. So I mean, that's the system relies for higher level players, more experienced players. It really does rely on the players themselves keeping themselves in check. And that's something he was real big on when he wrote those books about, your players should be on board in the game with you, as far as, yeah, according to the rules I could do this and this and this, but that doesn't seem right. That's that's overpowered. That you should be able to rely on your players to limit themselves to the story in the game, versus the power players who say, well, it says I can do this, so I'm going to do 1,000 points of damage every turn. Where it really does depend on the players keeping themselves in check and understanding, what's going to work and what's too overpowered. And you know, according to your character. My character wouldn't be able to do 1,000 points of damage every turn, you know.
No, but I can do chip damage all day long. It annoys the piss out of you.
Yeah. I'm just
But I can't
decorating this.
But I'm not allowed to use it. I can't use any weapon damage bonuses for it.
Yeah.
Keep it from being, you know, cruel. But there's a couple times that chip damage has, you know, saved my life.
Let's come in.
It's coming.
Yeah,
in handy.
Teddy's character in my game has a. Yeah, is it a shield that does it?
Yeah, it's a spiked shield.
Yeah, he has a spiked shield, so that whenever anybody does any damage to him with a melee attack,
They have to miss.
if they miss him with a melee attack, is it automatic?
Yes, it's automatic. Just I don't have to.
1d4. Yeah, he automatically does 1d4 damage.
No, it's a D6 now.
Is it d6? Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way overpowered. And Teddy automatically does d6 damage to him by, you know, kind of parrying them with this spiked shield, or, you know, hitting him with the spiked shield.
But I have an item that allows me to reflect missed, you know, ranged attacks. But
Yeah, that's crazy.
What I do, and it's still a D6, but I don't do it with magic.
Yeah, it only works like if somebody's shooting arrows at him, he can deflect the arrows back at the guy shooting them.
Because to me that makes sense. Like why would I, a standard spike shield, be able to reflect magic?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Kind of beating this stuff up.
Causing a camera earthquake. Yeah, here's Shane. I used to love to play Diablo as well. Is that game franchise still around, Diablo?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, it used to be one of my favorite styles of games.
They just came out with a new thing. I've got some guys.
They just came out with the new.
I got
with the
a couple
newest
people wanting me to play
expansion
it.
Hey, do you remember the old game Gauntlet?
Oh man, I loved Gauntlet.
Yeah, I did too.
The fighter is hungry. It says something like that, doesn't it?
Elf needs food
Yeah.
badly.
Elf needs food badly.
Yeah, I like as much as I like Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
I like Baldur's Gate a little bit more.
Yeah. I almost flunked out of college because of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I know you all heard the story.
That game, me and my roommate John, hey, we cracked out on that game, man. It was crazy. Trying to decide if I like that. Yeah, I do. I think I have an idea of what's going on.
It'll fill up that side of the board. Okay, we're at probably we're getting close to 2 hours.
5 people. Thank you very much to everybody that's in here. I appreciate you. It's awesome. You guys want to come hang out with us. I know the crafting process is slow and probably a little boring to watch, but yeah, too bad.
But that's why that's why we're here. The rest of us are here to talk about other stuff.
Too bad, it's so sad. It's just kind of hard to talk when I can't even see the chat box.
See you there. See, I keep getting that weird angle where it's leaned out again. I'd rather it be leaned in than out, but oh well. That's gonna work. Then what I'm gonna do is have a smaller platform up here, and then a large rope bridge to get to the main.
What kind of glue sticks are those, Charlie? Shane was asking. I don't think it's Gorilla Glue sticks.
No. These are just cheap. This
Crystal
clear
glue sticks.
ultra, ultra clear premium bond glue. You can literally get this box of, what is it?
85.
85 of them for like $17 off Amazon. Yeah, I buy glue sticks in bulk. Okay, there's that.
Yeah, we're all for it too.
All for what?
I should come down sometime and run a Magic Team game to see what everyone thinks about his. He created a magic system a couple years ago,
Oh wow.
and he could come out and we could check it out. I think I'm sure he's been playing it in his games, but he wants to expand the people that play it to see
Right,
other
right.
people.
I'd play any game that tooth is gaming.
Yeah.
That
That cyberpunk game.
yeah.
That Cyberpunk game we played last
Yeah.
year was really fun.
Yeah, Mike the Tooth came down and hung out with us for a night and ran his cyberpunk game that he ran it with us, and we had an absolute blast.
We were also having
Like to the point that I called him the next day and apologized for getting so drunk.
Yeah, it was a drunken and dragons night for sure.
Yeah. We don't usually. I mean, we'll drink a little bit, but we don't usually, get out of hand. But man, we had so much fun playing that game, man. We just got fucking hammered.
I think Mikey was outside puking at the picnic table.
I forgot. Yeah. Michael doesn't. My son Michael, he's in his 30s, early 30s.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even drink, and we got him to do shots with us while we were playing, which is rare. And he ended up getting hammered, and yeah, it was a wild night. But the game itself was amazing.
Yeah,
we had a
was
blast.
very good.
We had a blast. I'd love to do that again.
But Mike was just had a blast himself. Just spent more time laughing while trying to describe a scene.
Chopping this up.
Yeah, poor Mikey. I will never forget that time when I came over here and Mikey was trashed and you were trashed and
No, let's not talk about that night. Let's not talk about that night. Let's not talk about that night. There are some things you don't just put out on the internet.
I didn't finish it, did I?
I'll just say there's a reason I don't drink on a regular basis. I tend to get
Joe Biden.
I tend to get a little out of hand. And I blame it on my teen years. When I was a teen, I partied a lot and I was pretty wild. And now that I'm 50-something years old and I get hammered and I act like that, it just doesn't seem right. It just doesn't. It's not very becoming.
No, but it's absolutely hilarious.
Where'd my rock go?
All right, what end is being glued against the wall?
This end.
All right, let me see it. Let me see it before you put it. Is that leaning forward?
I don't know. No, that one looks good.
All right. Okay, yeah, because whatever angle that thing is on the back is going to be whatever direction that's leaning.
Daddy Biden.
Yeah.
What? Who said that?
Shane.
No, I was just really drunk and was running around yelling Joe Biden for some reason. That it was around the time of that "Wake Up Joe Biden" meme. If anybody has seen that, the guy, some weird YouTuber guy, did a video. He's like, "Joe Biden, wake up, Joe Biden," and it kept showing clips of Biden like asleep at different functions and stuff. And
yeah, I think it's because Alexa's trying to rein you in. You know, I'll show you a problem.
yeah, it all got out of hand.
Really quick. Really quick.
Somebody told me, "Don't worry about it. We got everything under control." And that just triggered me. Then you think you got this under control?
You saw that as a challenge?
Yeah, yeah, I took that as a challenge.
Yes, he did. I almost wish you would have been there for that, Justin.
I was working the second shift.
I think I sent you pictures.
Yeah, that was the night you guys sent me pictures of when I had just bought those shot glasses at Gen Con, and you guys...
Yeah, we sent you a picture of all of us with them, like,
yeah.
in a picture.
Bastard.
Yeah, I came later on that night because I was still dating Maria. I was still with Maria, and I went over to for a family thing with her family. And I came later on.
Yeah, you showed up a little later.
Yeah, and I proceeded to get fucking hammered drunk very quickly.
We all got pretty.
I had to catch up to everybody.
We're allowed to party. We're allowed to still get our drink on and get crunk.
Yeah, but now that we're in our 50s, or those hangovers last 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
If you start telling people the kids like the hair on your legs, we're gonna have a problem.
What?
That's Joe Biden said that. The kids love the hair on my legs. Okay.
Man, that's sticking out way far.
Yeah, it is. I might even, because it's sticking out way far, I'm gonna grab a couple.
It keeps up on you sometimes. It sure does.
Yeah. Skewer. Snips. Okay. Yeah. Because this cliff faces, and I'll probably go through and do this to a few of these pieces once I'm done, just to shore them up real well. Put this around. This piece.
That's not a bad idea.
I'm going to take this skewer, just I don't know what they are. They're like for kebab skewers or whatever, the real thin ones you can get at the Dollar Tree. You can get a big bag of them. And I'm going to drive it in through the back into that wall, just to give it a little more stability. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the spot that I want to put it. I'm going to use the glue gun. The tip of this glue gun is a hot metal, and I'm going to mark it.
Kind of a pilot hole tooth. You had a very good idea, although that is thinking a little too far ahead for our likes.
I don't know, man.
Okay, so what I do, I kind of put some marks on there.
It's pretty damn cheap.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this head. It will melt the styrofoam. Stick it in there as far as I can. Squeeze. Get a hole with a bunch of hot glue in it. Take this. Drive it in there. Grab it with these. shove it in there as far as I can. Shove it in there. And there we go. It takes that hot glue, and that hot glue rides with that stick all the way in. So I got like a nice plug or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Here's that. The only real hook to this is if you're off. Oh shit.
Yeah, and you have your
if your aim is off, then that stick might come out the bottom of this sticking out or something like that. But I got lucky on that one. It's good. So that just gives it that little extra bit of stability. What was Tooth talking about? What idea?
Using pilot holes and with drywall anchors.
The plastic ones. Because
yeah.
Because you can open them up. You can get the small ones. They're just small enough for the skewers.
Huh.
And the end would just open up just enough, and they'll anchor it.
I like using that hot glue in there because it on the back side near it, you know, you got a big plug of that hot glue, and it holds everything in place. And I like to think when you shove that spear through the hot glue, and because you can feel it like kind of melts that styrofoam as you're pushing it through there.
Right.
So I think I have a few of those. I have like 2 or 3. Where are they? Oh, down here, anchoring these. I have multiple ones in here anchoring this to these.
Oh, Two-Thirds is like he's had good luck with it before when paired with the glue, but
He uses the pink foam.
Yeah.
he used the pink one, which is maybe more giving.
Yeah. The pink foam's a lot softer. Okay. I'm gonna rest for a moment.
All right. Actually, we should probably be wrapping up here. We're right
Okay.
at 2 hours right now.
Now I think I'm pretty close to being done. Or the only thing else I'm gonna do, I'm thinking I'm gonna add kind of like you see these over here, these small, they're small little ledges that are big enough for one person. I might put a ledge here, like for 2 people. Another ledge, you know, maybe another ledge here for some people to connect. I want to connect to where if they're going to have to do something to get here, so that they can go this way, or get here so they can go this way or something. So I'm gonna have small steps in these areas, like maybe two small single, or a small single and one big enough for 2 people in this place and this place. I might put another ledge up here. Then once I've got all that, then I can sit back and decide the paths. I know I'm gonna have a cave entrance here. I'm gonna do probably a block that sits here with a decorative door, you know, something decorative. You know, this is going to be like the main bad guy's, you know, chamber.
Right.
I didn't think about it. He could be the one doing the ritual, and they're just down there. They're down there protecting it and maintaining it. They show up, beat them up. He continues the ritual. They can't stop it. They have to get to him to stop him.
Right.
But yeah, a decorative door. I might put some like decorative pillars against the wall here. I'm gonna make this a decorative area. It'll be connected to this cave. They'll go in, fight their way through it, but it's going to be closed off. They aren't going to be able to. They're going to have to come out and go back that way.
Right.
I might have that cave somewhere in this cave, a connection to this cave where they could come out. Think about putting another cave up there where if they do something really hard in there, they can fight their way and come out this way. But those are well, once I get these last final pieces, I've still got to work on the ritual area. It'll be a summoning circle of some sort. It'll be an evil looking circle. I I want to mount a light on the underside so it glows. So yeah, I still got work to do. Still got some work to do. But next time we will definitely be ready for painting. And I may even have it base coat painted already, and then we can just go straight into the mess. Because I'll warn everybody now, I'm a sloppy painter. All of my styles are sloppy. So.
And he takes terrible care of brushes.
Yeah, yeah, and I literally offend Justin whenever he sees me painting because I'm bad with my brushes. Justin was a painter.
I am a painter still.
He still is a painter.
And drywaller.
Let me sit there, Teddy. Get out of my seat. Go back to the big one. Just us. Oh, there we go.
So that's it, folks. That's this week's episode. Thank you very much for coming and talking with us. You're very much appreciated. Thank you, Tooth. Thank you, War Dog. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, everybody. Bonnie. Brooke. That's it. Why do I call her Bonnie? Thank you, Brooke. Jill. Everybody that showed up.
Yeah. We appreciate you guys hanging out.
Shane.
If you know anybody. No, I don't do wet washes. No. You'll see. I've got real basic. I use sponges, or I'll base coat it and then go over it, with a lighter color with sponge and dab the sponge on it, so all that texture that I put in everything, it just hit that color hits just the top pieces. You'll have to come back and see next time, Shane. If you want to know, you're gonna have to be here.
You've wet washed stuff before, haven't you? Just have really watered down color. Isn't your Mod Podge? Is the Mod Podge?
No, it's not a wet wash, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. On something this big, I might in spots to kind of do it, but yeah. Hey, thanks again no problem, Shane. You've got the time, man. But next week we're probably going
back to my game,
back to Justin's game.
Hopefully we can make big strides in that one. We've got We've got two sets that I'm going to be making for Gen Con. We're going to before in conjunction, I keep saying Gen Con, but there is a convention that we're going to that happens about 2 or 3 weeks before Gen Con. That's really the one we got to get ready for, because that's the one that's happening first.
Yeah.
We've got 5 more weekends to get ready, so hopefully next time we'll be finished up or close to finish up with the data center and moving on to the safe house, which is going to be scene 2 of my game.
And we are going to use we're going to repurpose some of my existing terrain for those.
Yes.
So yeah, but next week I think we're going to be working on more scatter terrain for his final scene. That's what I really need to focus on, that final scene warehouse, the one where we made the on last week's episode we made the conveyor belt for. So we're going to continue working on that area. I've got some computer banks I need to work on. Justin failed to remind me last week.
I sure did. I thought about that this morning.
To print off computer bank images. But yeah. So that's what we're doing next week.
Yeah, thanks, folks. And like War Dog says, go and follow all of his links. Thank you, War Dog, for being here and letting me steal your tagline on there.
Check out teamargonaut.net for more information. Like I said, there's a list in there of all the dungeon masters, and I'm in there. I'm the guy who looks like the crazy homeless person. And if you click on my name, you'll see all the images of a lot of my other terrain if you'd like to see more of that. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. I appreciate you guys hanging out. You guys rock. We'll see you next week, and remember, Have a good game.
Have a great
Have a
game.
great game. Have a great game.
Have a good
That's it.
game.